The views expressed in this podcast are solely those of the hosts. All creative works discussed or reviewed are the intellectual property of the creators of said stories and are being used under the Fair Use Doctrine. Swords and Soulmates, a podcast where we read, watch, and discuss romantasy and romance-adjacent stories. I'm one of your hosts, Mari, and with me I have Kelly.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly. We also have Ashley.
Hi guys, it's Ashley. We also have Jonathan.
What's good, everybody? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. This is our second one released this year, but it's our first one recorded this year. So yeah, Happy New Year. Happy belated Three Kings Day. Starting the year off strong.
That's how we roll.
Yep.
I gotta go cry in the shower for half an hour.
It's too early for that. It's too early in the year for that.
This week has been one hell of a year.
I was going to say, it's been a heck of a week.
It has been, this week has been a heck of a year for sure. All right, but today we're going to be discussing Wooing the Witch Queen by Stephanie Burgess, book 1 in the Queens of Villainy series. But first, as always, some news. I don't have a lot, but I've got a few things in here. First thing I have is that Anthony Palmini, which I'm not going to lie, I didn't know him by name. I had to look him up. But he's the audiobook narrator who's the voice of Kingfisher. in Quicksilver. Also the voice of Rysand in ACOTAR.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can hear it. There's something about the quality of how he says some of his words that sounds similar to me that I'm like, wait, is that Rysand? Also, he does a Play to Prisoner series, and I'm also hearing it there. Yeah, so 3 very big series in the romantasy genre. He does.
I was gonna say he's a busy guy.
Yeah, he does the male voices for all those. He is going to be doing an Instagram live with Fantasy Fangirls podcast. It's going to be on January the 22nd at 4 p.m. Eastern. I don't know exactly what all they're going to be talking about, but I think I'm going to try and listen in. I think it should be interesting just to hear how you get into that and how you differentiate. How do you become the voice of all those big name?
All the shadow daddies.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that's super interesting. I don't know that they've done narrators before, but I watch them on the socials, though predominantly the women. I don't know how many men dabble. I know there's a guy, I forget what his name is, Teddy? There's a Teddy somebody who does a lot of the romance stuff, more contemporary stuff.
I know the name because apparently there's some problematic issues with the person.
Sad.
Yeah.
Because he also has a very unique voice.
But I think it's look it up yourself if you have anyone else has an opinion on it or whatever. I think it's a sexual harassment situation. So look it up, make your own decisions, make your own choices. That's the only reason I know that name. I know it's a big name in the narrator world and that a lot of people have brought that up. So
wow. Okay. Ashley's going to go do some research.
And if I'm wrong, please correct me.
I think it's important to talk about those things, whether it's right or wrong. Everybody should do their own research, right? Yeah. There's a lot of situations, especially on the socials, where there's issues of plagiarizing, not even just AI stuff, legit plagiarizing. And there's 2 authors that are problematic that I'm aware of that I haven't done enough research on, but I won't read them or invest in them until I do more research. You know what I mean? Everybody else's opinion is their own, and sometimes facts are hard to come by, and that's why it's so important we do our own research.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know what I find.
Yeah, please do. So that's happening. The other bit of news I have is more Fourth Wing sports crossover. The Philadelphia 76ers and the Philadelphia Flyers are each having a takeover night, Fourth Wing takeover night. So March 4th is the 76ers and March 9th is the Flyers. There's different packages that you could buy, different levels of packages. One of them includes a limited edition or special edition or whatever sweatshirt. And at the end of this announcement, Rebecca Yarros had on there that there are more Fourth Wing nights to be announced soon.
I am not a hockey fan. I'm not quite sure what hockey even is. But
I wasn't sure what sport it was. I was hoping you would tell us.
so there's two sports here. So the Sixers are basketball, like the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'm going to be honest here, I do not support the 76ers because of their ownership. The ownership is problematic, not in a like a political way, but they also own the Washington Commanders, which is a rivalry. So that's my distaste for him. He actually put his views align with ours. We just don't. I don't like the Commanders. Sorry, they're a rival. But the Flyers have one of the greatest mascots. So Philadelphia has two of the most fantastic mascots known to man. The Philly Fanatic, which is he immigrated from the Galapagos Islands. That's his backstory. And then Gritty, who is just like this giant monstery Muppet with like. He just embodies the spirit of Philadelphia. If I feel like Gritty will be very dragoned out, and it will be comical. I wish I could go.
Yeah.
Also, that sweater. I want that sweater. How do I get that sweater?
Looks pretty cool. I gotta say. Yeah.
My understanding is that it's all very specific to the events. Yeah. So unless you get it on like eBay or a reseller.
Maybe we should just buy a ticket to go there and just order the sweatshirt separately. Dang.
Good. I think that the tickets, I believe, went on sale in December. It was after I saw this. So unless they do ticket resales before March, I don't know how that works. But like the original tickets fell in December. So.
Gotta give me a wing leader package.
Do it. Do it and report back. All right. Next bit of news is the Temporary series by Naomi Novik, which we've vaguely talked about the series before. It's a series that's like dragon riders, and you have like the psychic connection with the dragons. You have the bonding, and it's in a war type situation. It's set during like Napoleonic War times, but the battles are on like Dragonback. Yeah, it's an interesting series. It's really good. So, but that series there's a Kickstarter coming this year. Magpie Games is doing a role-playing game based on the Temporary world. And so role-playing like as in like a D&D type situation where you have a world, you tell a story, you pick your characters. Apparently one of the characters you can even be are like dragons. You can be a dragon.
Nice.
Yeah. So the Kickstarter isn't up and running yet, but you can always like, if you're interested, you can always go on Kickstarter and subscribe to it or whatever, and it'll let you know when it goes live. So there's not really any details of the pricing or when it would come out, but it seemed like a interesting, fantasy world and gaming tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I have? Oh, Ruby Dixon, the Hamilton of the modern writing world, because she hasn't written enough. She wrote all the Ice Planet Barbarians and everything else. She is writing a serial, basically. So it's a book that's coming out like a chapter a day, every day in January. It is called, I think it's called The Dragon Strays. I did not actually write down the name. I apologize. But her description of it was, it's a daily post-apocalyptic romance serial with a human female character who just saved a kitten from being a dragon's next meal. But the Dragon Shifter's male main character's first chapter begins with, quote, "That human female just stole my cat."
Oh, God.
It's a good looking like image too,
Yeah.
like a little golden dragony tail and a tiny little kitten.
Little orange kitten. Yeah, it looks really cute. I've read, it's like a little short chapter a day. So I went ahead and I caught up on them all today. There's, 7 today. Today's the 8th. So there's 7. The 8th one I haven't read yet. They're short. They're light. It's apparently set in her Dragon Shifter world, which I've not read any of those books, but the concept is, and apparently you don't have to have read anything or know anything about them to read this serial. You can read it as a standalone, but it's basically a post-apocalyptic world where some rift opened and like dragons came in and the world has been destroyed because dragons like lost their mind when they came through the rift or whatever. So like everything's been destroyed, and the dragons some of them are coming to like get back into their right mind and trying to figure out what happened and why they're there and etc. So you get a lot of the almost alien human miscommunication tropes that she does very well in Ice Planet Barbarians, because these dragons are like, they talk through, oh my God, like ESP or whatever, through mind speak, telepathic. Telepathic. Thank you. I was like, telekinesis. No, that's not it. Yeah.
That's the force.
Yeah, they talk telepathically. And so they're like, what are these crazy sounds these little puny human creatures are making? And why can't they understand the thoughts I'm beaming at them, you know? So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, it's just like 7 chapters that are released out so far. But it's the Ruben Dixon magic that she does, where everything she does is a fun read. So
nice.
If anyone's interested in that, I enjoyed it so far.
I hope to be able to meet her someday.
That would be great. We need to do like a Texas trip.
There's so many great authors that are just pinned in Texas at the moment.
Yeah. Kelly and I went to Texas. Well, I mean, I've been to Texas a few times because my best friend lives there. But Kelly and I went to Austin. God, how many years? Was that 2-3 years ago, Kelly?
It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago. And Texas's biggest independent bookstore is in Austin. And it's called Book People. And it is huge. I'm trying to remember. There was some author there that was signing. I went with Kelly. Kelly was doing like a work thing, and I tagged along and did that. But yeah, there's definitely cool spots in Texas that have a lot of book-related stuff. A lot of cool authors there. So, all right. Next little bit I have is Mallory Dunlin, who wrote Captured by the Fae Beast that we read last year. She's doing a Kickstarter for special editions. So currently a special edition existed for Captured by the Fae Beast, which is the first one in that series, and the second one, which I haven't read. But this Kickstarter is for a special edition for her third book, which is claimed by the Flame of Fairy. But as part of the Kickstarter, you would also be able to buy the special edition of book 1 and or book 2 if you want to like have a complete set. I did buy the special edition of book 1. I'm trying to remember when I did that. It might have been at Monster Erotica. Was she at Monster Erotica Con? Yeah, she was. That's where I met her. Okay, so yeah, it might have been at Monster Erotica Book Con last year. And so I had the special edition. The cover is a cool image, but like the underneath, it's nice gold foil with like the gold leaves and gold on the leaves on the pages, and pretty like gate imagery. So it's lots of shiny bits on it. They're really pretty.
We love pretty.
Yeah. I still haven't read any of the rest of those. I really enjoyed the first one. I just haven't fit the others into my reading schedule. So, but I will. Last bit of news I have. We talked about, I think it was a few weeks back, about the Oops, I Summoned a Lighturk, which is part of that Witches Monsters series. So that first book was by Regina Bell. I've read it actually. It was good. I would have had no idea what a lighturk was if we hadn't talked about it here. Because then I was like, and I read the book, I'm like, oh yeah, there's the armpit situation. Got it. I knew that was coming. But the next one in that series has just come out on a few days ago on the 4th of January. It's the one by Opal Rain, and it is Oops, I Summoned a Metamorphic Monster.
Oh.
So it's like a tentacle monster situation. Have not read that one yet, but I will because I like Opal Rain. So
I was going to say, I'm not opposed.
Yeah. If she reads it, I will write it, basically. Nope. If she
Strike that,
it,
reverse it.
Oh, it's been a day. Any other news?
Not that I have.
No, I tend to send you everything that I can find in advance. Also, initial investigations of my WebMD PI certificate as my proof of identity. It doesn't seem to be a Teddy Hamilton issue. It seems to be a Joe Arden issue, and they are not the same person.
Okay. I'm glad you cleared that up.
Currently, we're not seeing any drama with Teddy Hamilton on the record, but the problematic potential person is a narrator named Joe Arden.
Okay.
But I'll keep hope alive there, Teddy. It's not too late.
It's only January, Teddy.
You're misbehaving in early.
Man.
We don't condone that.
No. Please, everyone make good choices.
That was in jest.
Yes.
In case anybody out there is like, hey,
treat
all right,
everyone
you
like a
said
fellow
it.
human being and make good choices.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the people who are making statements especially on the socials, are being careful about naming names. But yeah, no, I couldn't find anything on Teddy. Like, people were distraught at the thought it could have been him, kind of thing.
Okay.
Interesting.
But that's only like 4 minutes, so.
Well, job done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it would have come up if it was like the big thing that I'm.
Yeah, I feel like even if there was a tiny bit, it would have popped up. And there are some weird searches that are highlighted, but like nothing that's actually pointing to him. So.
Okay, good. Okay, so then we'll move on to the book we read, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so why we chose this book, I think I suggested this book. I had actually read it before. I read it last year with my eyeballs, and I knew that the sequel was coming out this month, and I was looking forward to the sequel, so I wanted to reread it. I also saw that it was on Kelly's want to read list. So I'm like, let's give this one a shot.
Yeah.
So the sequel comes out later this month, January 27th of 2026. But this one, Wooing the Witch Queen, was published February 18th of 2025. I'm going to read the synopsis and then we can go into our little talk about it. Queen Saskia is the wicked sorceress everyone fears. After successfully wresting the throne from her evil uncle, she only wants one thing: to keep her people safe from the empire next door. For that, she needs to spend more time in her laboratory experimenting with her spells. She definitely doesn't have time to bring order to her chaotic library of magic. When a mysterious dark wizard arrives at her castle, Saskia hires him as her new librarian on the spot. Fabian is sweet and a little nerdy, and his requests seem a little strange. What in the name of Divine Elva is a fountain pen? But he's getting the job done. And if he writes her flirtatious poetry and his innocent touch makes her skin singe, well... Little does Saskia know that the wizard she's fallen for is actually an imperial archduke in disguise, with no magical training whatsoever. On the run with perilous secrets on his trail and a fast-growing yearning for the wicked sorceress. He's in danger from her enemies and her newfound allies, too. When his identity is finally revealed, will their love save or doom each other?
Ooh, sizzling.
Can I clarify?
Yes.
The inflection of his name? It's Fabian?
I don't know. I may have said it wrong.
Well, you guys listened to the audiobook.
We
I'm
did.
looking for
Yeah.
Kelly, do you remember? Was it
Fabian?
It was
Fabian.
Fabian.
It was Fabian. Okay, Fabian.
That's not how it was.
You're reading it as Fabes.
Why wouldn't I?
I cranked the speed on this one. So this is sometimes like when I'm cooking with an audiobook, I can cook, right? And like when I was like, oh, tell me about Sastia. And Ashley was like, who? And I was like, what do you think about Sastia?
Well,
and she's
funny.
like, what are you talking about?
Funny, we did that with the name too, but I hadn't gotten to Fabian yet. It was still just Felix.
We did, because I called him Fabian.
And I was like, who?
I call him Fabio.
Oh, you did.
When you listen to the audiobook, sometimes at speed, it'll jam a couple letters in. So I was like, Sastia and Fabio. And I was like, cool. And you were like, who
I was like, Felix?
Yeah. She said, no, you mean Felix. And I was like, no.
I'm
talking about Fabio.
But I hadn't gotten there yet.
They did give us like 3 names for him, right? So like you introduced like Felix Augustus, okay. And then he like introduced himself as the wizard Sinestro, okay. But then he's Fabia. I'm like, okay, 3 names in one book
there was a
is
lot.
bit much.
Yeah, it was There was a lot of effort.
There were 6 in this house. If you're listening to the audiobook at my speed, we got 6 names for that guy. The man with many names.
Yeah. What did we think?
I mean, I liked it. I kind of liked, the flipping of the script, as they say, right? So you had this gentle royal member, and he was a gentle soul, and he was poetic, and he was being abused, and his wife died, and he was brokenhearted, widower, and he was on the run from the evil nasty in-laws. And so it was an interesting perspective for me to kind of see a male in that role and in that space, and the female main character be the vengeful one, the protector, the shadow mommy, the touch him and you'll die. I liked seeing it that way.
I agree. Like, that's part of what made this book stand out to me of the ones I read last year, and why I was like wanted to read it again. I very much enjoyed that this was not the same romantasy story that we get oftentimes told over and over. And don't get me wrong, I still enjoy the old romantasy stories. Yeah. I read them as well, but it's nice to get something a little bit different. I loved the moment where she sees his scars and stuff on his back, and she's like,
did that
to you? Oh. Like, the first time I read that, I read it with my eyeballs. I had to put the book down. I'm like, oh,
take a breath.
All the claps. Yes.
Yeah. Full shadow mommy moment.
It was so well done.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that I got this time that I don't think I got when I read it the first time that I thought was interesting was when they're describing her library. He's a librarian to her library. And I'm like, wait, is this like a kind of a reverse Beauty and the Beast? Is she the Beast? And he's like the nerdy person, like in love with her library.
Yeah. I was really trying to pin down which fairy tale it was, in the retelling piece. Like, you would think the library is a dead giveaway. It wasn't necessarily, but yeah, it was definitely Beauty and the Beast, gender reverse. Yeah. I felt it.
It felt like this was, now I could be wrong, but I feel like I want to say this is our first banging.
Oh,
indirect banging. Like, it's it's banging adjacent.
First banging for 2026.
Yeah. So I think, like, because she was like, they were like doing her thing. She was like, "What's that abomination? Why would you have that?" And then just through that action of like, "Hey, we're getting real close here. Boom, 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 pow. Oh, dang, you've got this magical lock on you. Why would you have that if you're a dark wizard?"
Yeah.
I see where you're going with this. Yeah. I approve.
She through the act, not through the direct act of banging was his magic released, but indirectly as a result, had they not had the banging portion, the beginning of the magic would not have been known to him. Henceforth, is this like a sub tier banging, like
a B plot? I do
parking garage banging.
I do the visual. I do think it's been a long while since we've had a true banging. Yeah. So would you please define for the audience a banging?
A banging. I'll try to keep it PG-13. You want me to go full X?
However you want to do it.
It's banging is the act of fucking the magic on. Like, I don't have any magic. Now we have sex. Now I have magic.
Good job.
Ta-da.
Sex magic.
You explain sex magic.
The beginning of magic through banging.
Yeah.
Good refresher. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I forget. New ears might be around.
Mm-hmm. Kelly, what'd you think?
Yeah, I think like Ashley said, it was nice to see the flip-flop, kind of doing something different than the typical 18-year-old girl and the shadow daddy. So that was a nice change. I think that, it fell into some of the typical stereotype, tropes that most romantasy books fall into still. The just people talking would have solved so many problems.
Yes.
She shushed him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning too. Like,
yeah,
he was like, "Hey, I got to tell you," and she's like,
"No, I don't have time for
yet.
this.
I got stuff I got to do." But
I
wait,
mean,
you're gonna want to hear it? Nah,
No, it's fine.
books
Kelly,
are
there was
over
a lot
here.
of
Don't
assumptions,
challenge me.
weren't
Yeah.
there? Oh, I agree.
So it's her fault this time, though, because he was trying to tell her quite a bit. In fact,
and over.
and then she took his voice away. So I mean, she's like,
Oh,
"This is how much I trust you. I'm going to take your voice away so we can have consensual sex, even though you're trying to tell me something really fucking important."
what if what he wanted to say was no?
Well, he could have turned around and walk away.
Yeah, she did give him that
he had
option.
free will,
Yeah.
Except he can't
just
talk.
not a voice. Yeah.
Interesting. So she put a magical ball gag.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, this is magical BDSM. Got it.
Okay, what would their safe word would have to be in sign language?
Or taps, you know.
Oh yeah, okay. I like how this went full like octagon here. Like, so like tap out. She got him in a hole.
Morse code.
The square ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I very much enjoyed this. Obviously, I was like, let's read it again. Oh, for me, let's read it again. And I figured you guys would enjoy it as well. And I really think more people should read this if you like romantasy or romance fantasy or whatever. Like, it's a lot of the elements that we like. It's just freshened up in a new way. Which makes you think about them in different ways sometimes. I thought it was also much more up to date than some of the romantasy we've read, in that I really like that it was basically a queer normative world, you know, where it was like, oh yeah, I've had girlfriends. Oh yeah, you know, now I've got a boyfriend. Like, it wasn't a big
taboo
deal, but it also wasn't oh yes, queerness doesn't exist because magic.
And like also addressed, you know, the inequities of magical creatures, right?
Yes.
And how the kingdom was treating them or had ruled against them. And, you know, I think I forget, and it was towards the end where Felix was like, you know, it started in my parents' or grandparents' generation, and I have to stand up, like I have to do this and try to make it a little bit better. And so that was impressive. Like, there was a lot jam packed in, you know, to what was a fairly short story.
Yeah. No, I agree. Definitely a lot of like
hot topics.
Yeah, othering of a minority group or a group that wasn't in power, and, you know, mistreating them, and also the idea that like with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, because you are in this position of power, then you have the responsibility to do better.
And found family as well.
Yeah.
Like, to Kelly's point, we covered a lot of tropes, but I thought they did it tastefully.
Yeah. I love the found family trope in almost any kind of story. It's one of my favorites because it brings people together a lot of times of disparate origins, and yet they mesh together, you know, well. And it shows us how important it is to like rely on each other and help each other just because you should, not because someone's your blood or because of a built-in responsibilities, just because it's the human and humane thing to do.
Yeah.
Be a decent person.
Yeah. Hey, fun fact on Found Family. Did you know that in the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that they left everybody all the toys on Misfit Island?
You mean the original movie?
Yeah, it was only
I've never seen
after.
that movie. I have to admit.
You just broke him.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is the song for me.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, it was only after the original airing came out that fans, the audience, did like a letter writing campaign. We're like, hey, what about those toys? Like, you should send those toys. And to give context to it for Mari, who was deprived, is basically like Rudolph, who's a misfit, ends up on an island of misfit toys, and it's like a Jack in the Box that doesn't
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, like it was like all these toys that like kind of don't belong.
Yeah.
And I think one of the elves was like a wanted to be a dentist instead. Like, I have dreams of being a dentist, not making toys. Anyway, so Santa eventually, in the second airing, he comes back and it's like, let's give these toys to people who need toys.
Yeah.
It was like was it a lion that meowed or something like weird? I don't know. I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
again.
I'm not opposed to watching it. I'm probably watching it else. I'll put it on the list for like next, holiday season and watch it. On this topic of watching movies, by the way, though, Kelly had already seen it, but we watched the Muppet. No, not Muppet. I'm sorry. The Mickey.
Are you sure?
Oh, we always watch the Muppet Christmas Carol, but we watched the Mickey Christmas Carol because I'd never seen it. And Ash, I think you said it was your favorite version of it. So now I've seen it.
Oh, look at us.
Yeah, it was cute.
Nice.
But this book. So back to
Derailed.
Yes.
That's my fault.
Back in the halls of justice or something. Okay, so I think generally we enjoyed it. It's something a little bit different, little twist on the things that we usually have. I don't think that there were a whole lot of twists in the actual story or the plot. I think for the most part we saw most things coming. Like I'm not one to usually pick out things, but I was like, that coffee is sus.
Right?
Yeah, so I mean, there's a little bit of plots and things, but it's not like crazy plot twists in it. But it was still a really good read and a really enjoyable ride. I will say that if anyone enjoyed it, I don't know how the second book is going to work because I'm not a fan of this character, so I'm going to be really interested to see how the author makes me like this character. But the second book the series is called The Queens of Villainy. The second book is called Enchanting the Fae Queen. And it's Queen Lorelai.
Queen Lorelai. I was gonna say when you were talking about the lack of like real plot twists, I really didn't know where Lorelai was going with that at the beginning. I was like, why is she kidnapping this motherfucker? Like,
right.
what's she gonna do with him? Is she gonna kill him? Does she want him for herself? Like, did she know? So arguably, I didn't know where that was going until we got there, and she was like, I protect my friends, and I was like, but dude, if you did, you'd just kill him.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going with this girl? So yeah, I think she's gonna be, what she reminds me of? What's the pink, the super pink pony in My Little Pony?
Oh, I don't know.
Really? I think
Pinkie Pie?
I was like, these are like the mean girl lackeys.
I think she's the mean girl lackey.
Yeah.
But like in the sweetest way possible. So like her damage is so deep that she tricks all the boys into falling in love with her like a siren, and then she kills them or breaks their own hearts or something like that. So I kind of get her vibe. I'm not opposed to her story. It was just a little much.
Yeah, I think she's very like in the moment and pragmatic, and like to me she reminds me of, okay, so in Scrooged, the Bill Murray version of the Christmas Carol, you know how there's the three spirits, the pink fairy one that's the ghost of Christmas Present.
Love her.
Right?
I love her. What is that actress's name?
Kelly, you know who it is, right? You're good with these names.
What?
She played the
Kelly's
wife in The Princess Bride. I'm not a witch. I'm your wife.
She has she's a higher octave sound.
Yeah, she does.
Too.
Now that you've explained it that way, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her
Carol
name.
Kane.
Yes, Carol Kane.
I did not know her name.
That her in the Ghost of Christmas Present as that fairy version of her from Scrooged. That's what in my head. That's what Queen Lorelai is.
I see it now. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. Good job, guys. You got us there.
It's weird associations. It's weirder associations. Yeah, so I plan on reading the sequel because I like the first one, and I'm really intrigued to see where this is going to go from there. So
I'm not as interested in Lorelai's story, but I do want to hear the third one. What's her name?
Yeah, like
the Queen of Norn.
Winter one.
Yeah, she's got some shit.
Yeah. She seems really like super smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna teach us something.
I would hope so.
I think
or
so.
somebody's going to come through and blow her world apart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's going to be the calm, cool, collected one that can't stay calm, cool, collected. That could be really interesting too.
Because when Lorelai was like, oh, but he's trying to dupe her and she's our friend and we protect our friends. And she was like, oh, well, dumbass, he's in love with her. And I was just like, that's me. That's who I am. I resonate with this. It was really funny. I thought that was like one of the funniest books. Oh, duh.
Yeah.
That's all I heard.
He's in love with her.
What are you worried about? Why are you not paying attention?
Yeah.
That was funny to me.
Yeah, I agree. So do we think it's a kissing book?
Yeah.
I mean, it absolutely is a kissing book.
I agree.
I am going to have to agree. Yeah, I think it was.
I like how you
just stretch it out for dramatic emphasis.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I wasn't sure where you were going with that. I was like, I thought we were on board
I was
here.
complete with a semi-adjacent banging.
It's your favorite part.
Absolutely.
Yeah, parking garage banging is what
Parking
we got here.
garage.
We're hoping to get main floor banging. Hopefully, some penthouse banging this year.
Penthouse banging.
We've got a whole slew of books coming up this year. We got a whole year's worth of books, so I'm sure there'll be all sorts of things ahead of us. All right. Anything else we want to say about the book before I get into the rest of it?
What's the author's name?
Stephanie Burgess.
Stephanie. Good job, Stephanie. We're fans.
Yeah.
I like that.
Add her to the list.
What type of reader do you think would enjoy this?
So I think that if you enjoyed Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, you would enjoy this book because it's got a little bit of that like academic, smart female main character who's a little bit clueless about the whole love situation. So there's some similarities to the Emily Wilde series, I would say. Also, if you enjoyed, oh my gosh, Scarlett Gale is the author. I want to say it's his Secret Illuminations. Yeah, His Secret Illuminations is another one that, to me, did the same thing as this in terms of, like, turn a lot of the romantasy tropes on their head. In that, when the female main character is, like, a badass warrior, paladin, fighter, not even paladin, really like a fighter person. And the main guy is, like, a nerdy, learning to be maybe a sorcerer kind of person and is, like, new to the world. So I would say if you liked either of those books, that's... you would enjoy this book. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I liked, so the story isn't like identical at all or like the same, but I liked the vibes. Like if I was just going on like vibes, I feel like if you like Assistant to the Villain, this is kind of like it's maybe a little bit more mature, but it felt like I could put those two next to each other and they'd complement each other.
Yeah, I would agree. That was actually my example. It was funny. It was witty. It was, it didn't drag you down. It had some serious topics, but it didn't it didn't have that much weight to it, if that makes sense. Like,
she kept it moving.
Yeah, she kept it moving. I didn't feel like things dragged on. I do feel like she did world building here too, right? Like, but also not so much in that I needed to like go back and forth to a map, like fucking ACOTAR. It was serious without weighing it down. And so that was fun for me.
I agree. I will add one more. I think there's some similarities, maybe a little bit in like the world. Thrown in the Dark that we read.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Caggiano, I think, was the author.
Mm-hmm. AK or AC.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm so sorry. Yeah, AK Caggiano, the Villains and Virtues book series. I think some of that would be, if you like that, you might like this as well. And really, honestly, even if you like romantasy, but you want something that's like it's a little bit different than some of the plug and play tropes that you've had before. It gives you some of the tropes, but in a twisted, like in a new way, in a fresh way. So,
Agreed. Yeah.
How about you, Kelly? Any recommendations?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Anything else we want to say about the book before I move on?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I will say before we wrap it up, I'm going to do a little bit of not so much reviews that we got, but I was really excited about this regardless. So I had done a recommendations of like winter readings that weren't necessarily, it was winter reading recommendations that weren't necessarily at Christmassy reading recommendations. And one of the ones I had on there, of course, was Ice Planet Barbarians. So I put it on TikTok and Ruby Dixon liked it.
Oh.
And she said, thank you guys for the shout out.
Nice.
Wow. That's high praise.
I know.
She doesn't just do that with anybody. Good job, Mari.
Yeah, I was like, I need to finish Ice Planet Barbarians.
Motivation of
the series, not just the book. The series. The series. 'Cause I know you've got
I've gotten through. I believe I'm on like, because I read several of them last year, and then it started getting warm, and so I got out of the habit of reading them. I've read 10 of them, so I'm on number 11. So I think there's 20 something. I'm not sure of that series because there are multiple series. So Ruby Dixon is a hard-working woman. All right. Anything else before I round it up?
No, I'm still impressed with you getting a shout out from Ruby Dixon.
I'm impressed that we've only been recording for 43 minutes.
We're efficient. Don't get used to it.
We're as efficient as Stephanie is.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for listening to Of Swords and Soulmates. Before we go, make sure to check out the show notes, rate, review, and subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. It helps others to find us and lets us know what you're enjoying. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Of Swords and Soulmates. Check us out on our website, ofswordsandsoulmates.com. If you'd like to offer a suggestion for a future episode, book, or discussion topic, feel free to reach out to us on the DMs of any of those options or email us at mari@ofswordsandsoulmates.com. If you want to read along with us as we prep for a new episode and get chapter-by-chapter interaction, join our Fable app book club by searching for the Of Swords and Soulmates book club on Fable. And last but not least, we hope you'll join us in 2 weeks for our next episode when we will be reading A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle Jensen, which is book 1 of Saga of the Unfated.
Bye, guys.
Bye.